Uh, Hello. I'm the Colonel of Corn, and I'd just like to start off by saying there's a there's a good chance that no one is ever going to see this video, and it's sitting on my hard drive in the recycle bin to this very day. Of course, if you're hearing this, that means I'm a liar, but let's ignore that. I'm going to talk about this game, what I'm about to play. Yeah, it's loud. Alright. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure a way to adjust the volume. But, this is... Still gonna adjust the volume a little bit. This is FCS Fired Neuron, and I made it. Is my volume adjustment doing literally anything? Or a little bit. Yeah, I made this. I have to say, I'm a little proud of it. Yeah, it's nice to have something you created and other people can see. By the way, you can play this for yourself. It's up on itch.io. The link in the description. In fact, if this gets uploaded, 3/4 of my channel will be this game. And the other quarter is the video that automatically plays when you go to my channel. So, I'm going to immediately go off on a tangent here. Speaking of that, that Meat Rocket Raccoon. The only reason that I have it at the opening for my channel is that I've spent like 5 hours on that video. Let me explain how. I originally made it on my phone somewhere around 3-4 years ago when Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out. It was the same year Guardians 2 came out. And I originally made it on my phone, and somehow it's been lost to time. But I decided one day that was a pretty good meme idea. I'm gonna remake it, and so I did. I got a program. I forgot what it was, and I figured, oh, hey, this isn't charging me to make a video without a watermark. But it was. It did charge me. So after I'd spent 3 hours picking apart a scene from Guardians of the Galaxy to sync up to Meet the Engineer audio, I discovered that at alternating every 10 seconds, there would be a giant watermark covering half the screen in 10-second intervals going off and on, which for a little while I was pretty mad about. But then I realized this watermark comes on and off at regular intervals. So what I ended up doing was splice every 10 seconds when the watermark would appear. I'd cut in my own 10 seconds of no audio, just a static photo of an emu. And then I used a Windows Movie Maker to cut out those 10-second clips of the emu. And that is the Meat Rocket Raccoon you have today. You can actually... It didn't work out. Are you serious? That's not good. Oh, that's a bug that needs fixing. Apparently your ammo can just run out and not be replaced. That's not good. Ooh, I don't know how I'm gonna fix that. I don't know how I caused that. Alright, back to the Meat Rocket Raccoon. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. You can see a little side effect of the emu cutting, because Windows Movie Maker in Windows 10 doesn't let you cut out at exact 10-second intervals. You've got to... What? Right, hold on. Oh, that needs fixing badly. Alright. I'm going to fix that. I will be right back. Alright, so I'm back. I changed nothing and it appears to just work now. Yeah, in the words of Todd Howard, it just works. So, as I was saying, for the second time, there's one point in Meet Rocket Raccoon where the audio deviates from the regular Meet the Engineer. There's one point where there's supposed to be 2 bullet shots that play, but only one plays because one of them was forced to be cut off because it was in that little fraction of a second holdover that Windows Movie Maker forced me to have in order to have a video without a massive watermark. That's fine. You really can't tell unless you've just spent 3 hours working with that audio. Why is it occasionally just shooting twice? No, well. Anyways, this game, you haven't, I mean, I played for 5 minutes and then I experienced a possibly game-breaking bug, so that's not a real point in this thing's favor, but it's a fun video game. Like I said before, FCN Fired Neuron is the name of it. Actually, that's the name of the ship there, I guess. Just absolutely pointless information. What else would it be referring to? Are you serious? Again. I'm gonna look into that. For now, I just won't miss my first shot, and that should fix the bug. Alright. Neat. Seriously gonna need to fix that. Otherwise, very fun game. You may ask, well, this is the Galaga type infinite space shooter, why even have an ammo count at all? And that's because on a screen this small with it's just too easy to go back and forth and just spam and go forever, and there's really just no challenge to it. So I want to force players to have a little bit of skill. I think I've done that. Yeah, I think my high score in this game is 476. It's actually the version 8. The footage of that playthrough is the version 18 demo I have on this channel, which I still count that as my, as of version 19 and 20, I should point out. I count that as my high score because I didn't change anything about how the shots work and how the mines spawn between versions 18 and 19, so you know, it takes the same amount of skill to get the same score in either version. But like I said, got this up on itch.io. You can download it for free, or you can pay me if you want. If you pay me $1 or more, I'll send you the Python version of this, and you can look around at my messy badly written code. See all the comments I left in there, and mess with it yourself. As long as you've got Python 3.7 or 8 installed and Pygame installed. And at some point, you'll need, I don't know, you might not need the OS library module ever installed. Anyways, that looks like the video's hitting the 10-minute mark now. Yay. I should really talk more about how this game works. So, basically, you're infinitely shooting mines, and you start out with 1 ammo, and you get 1 ammo back for every mine you hit. So you gain extra ammo, like that, by hitting multiple mines with the same shot. And the more ammo you have, the more mines, the faster the mines will spawn, the easier it is to get more ammo, and the harder the game becomes. It's a very nice positive feedback loop that came out of the fact that I couldn't figure out how to implement a way to make the shots disappear when they hit a mine. So I decided to make hitting multiple mines with 1 shot the central mechanic of the game. So that was nice. But anyways, yeah, the mines start out with every frame. It will generate a random number, basically between 0 and 250, and if that number is 250, it will spawn a mine, which doesn't, this seems like a lot more than, you know, running that check 250, between 0 and 250, but this game actually runs at 300 frames per second, so, you know, you're spawning, at the beginning, you're spawning roughly 1 1/6 mines per second. Oh god, this is getting really loud. Yo, what happened? Oh no. Yeah, here's the thing. The ammo you have is supposed to be doubled. It creates another variable, the skill modifier, it's what it's called, and it doubles the amount of ammo you have and adds that to the 0 in 0, a random number between 0 and 250. What it's supposed to do is that after a certain point, actually after I think 248, it will just, if the skill modifier is above 248, it will just set it back down to 248. So there's always like a 1/2 or 1/3 chance at least that a mine will not spawn on a frame. But I think that's broken. I think that broke. So that's not good, because it should be running the check for that modifier every frame, but obviously it's not. So you have to press the, and then of course once the ammo is back to 0, it starts spawning mines again. So what you're actually looking at is me finding all these bugs in this game that I'm trying to advertise to you all. I'll have version 20 out. Well, I'm recording this at 10:40 p.m. on the 26th, so I'll have the next version, version 20, out by this time tomorrow. Then hopefully have this all fixed. I really hope I have this all fixed. Oh, I know the problem. Because your ammo starts at 1, I set the skill modifier to be actually between the skill mod. Hold on, let me think. The random number generation for spawning an enemy is between skill mod and 252, because when the frame you start the game, your ammo's at 1 times 2 is 2, so you're picking a number between 2 and 252. But I didn't change the random number to spawn an enemy on to 252, and so after you hit 125 ammo, I think it would be, it's generating a random number between 250 and 252 non-inclusive. So every frame it's generating either 251 or 252, and it'll only spawn a mine if it's 250. So that should be a simple change I make tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do about the ammo counter though, because when I ran this in Python, I'm currently running the executable exe file version. That bug didn't happen, but I usually only run it for 1 life and then quit, so it might be that I need to run it for a few more lives and see how things are going. It probably has something to do with the variable that keeps track of shots that are currently on screen. Anyways, let's just continue playing this video game for another, say, 5 minutes, and let's see. I'll talk about what you're actually looking at and hearing in this game, which is all things that I created. The sprites are all custom made by me. I used that using what's it called? Piskel. I always pronounced it Pixel. It's spelled with a K and an S. So I always thought it was just it was a hipster spelling of pixel, but it's Piskel. That's honestly not a great name. It's a website, but you can also download it, and it's an okay app. And then, so that's what I used for the sprites. Used LMMS to generate these sound effects. And then I used Audacity to convert them from, originally I converted them from WAV files to OGG files, but then OGG files just didn't work with the executable version, so I ended up changing them back to WAV files, which is what they were originally exported as anyway, so any future development is going to be, well no, it won't be clear of Audacity because I still use it to shorten the files, get all the... LMMS is not a great program for creating audio on its own, and neither is Audacity if you want computer-generated sound like this, or if you want instruments that you don't own and can't play. So I use LMMS to generate all the music, and then I export it and put it in Audacity and trim out all of this silence at the end of the song, because, yeah, listen to this. The longest sound effect is maybe 2-3 seconds long, and then the shot sound, the hit sound, and then that no ammo sound you're hearing right now are all, a fraction of a second long. So, as far as all that goes, yeah, there's a lot of dead space when I export a 1 second long WAV file that has, a quarter second of sound in it. So use Audacity to trim that down. Then I finally implement it in. Which, I hate that I have to use WAV files instead of MP3 or OGG, because OGG is the most compressed. That's the ideal for sound this low quality, I say low quality, sound with this little detail to begin with. Because this is actually, what you're hearing right now is backwards converted from the OGG files. And I guarantee you it sounds the same as when I popped it out of LMMS. Because it's just a sine wave. But the WAV files take up so much more storage space. I think I checked once. I was really just using the WAV files without paying attention to any of that. And what happened was I noticed that my audio folder was 5 times the size of my Python folder because the WAV files were just huge in comparison. But, you know, Pygame's sound engine doesn't work with MP3 files, specifically the sound effects portion of it. The music accepts MP3s for some reason, and I'm not dealing with music because then I'd have to deal with exactly how long these audio clips are, and it'd be too much work to bother with for a few kilobytes of space. And so the exe doesn't like OGG, and the Python, the code in general, doesn't like MP3, so I end up having to use WAV. But it's not really a big deal. It's not a big deal once you've left Python, because once it's in an exe, it becomes megabytes in size instead of kilobytes. Yes, I'm doing a lot of complaining here. If this were a pitch to a company, I would be out the door already in the parking lot wondering what drug I must have taken to give a pitch this bad. This is a fun game. It's a fun little infinite game when it works. Yeah, it's a nice little arcadey feel. I really wish someone would just make a one-to-one arcade Galaga port, because I love the arcade version of Galaga, not the NES version. That one, it doesn't feel right. The NES version doesn't feel right. The scoring is different. It's not the same. I want arcade Galaga. And, no one else does. I might go ahead and make a Galaga port in Python. Which, by the way, I haven't mentioned this. I've just been assuming I said that. This entire thing was programmed in Python and then converted to an exe file, which is a massive pain, let me tell you. It took me something like 8 hours. The only actual problem with it was the OGG files I was using, which, instead of having an error message like, cannot open this type of file, the exe file just says directory not found. So I ended up first of all, I pretty much gutted this game. I removed everything that used text. I removed all the text. I removed all of the sprites. Everything was just squares and rectangles of solid colors. And I got that working on an exe perfectly. And so then I gradually started adding stuff back in until something broke, and then I'd know where the problem was and be able to fix it. So after 8 hours, I had myself a nice little, I don't have Corona, I promise. I had myself a nice little working game with sound and sprites and everything. The controller support, which, by the way, I've been playing on a Xbox One controller this entire time, was harder to add than I thought, because all the keyboard inputs are just called K underscore whatever the key is. Escape, R, K, arrow keys, left, right, whatever, what have you. So I assumed it'd be the same with a gamepad or controller. Or it's called joystick. Just joystick underscore left, right, or A, B, or really 1, 2, something like that. I was wrong. That's not how it is. You have to create a joystick class variable, some sort of joystick object, and then create different elements within it, because it does have that little button 1, button 2 thing, but the way you have to check for it is you have to write a statement that says, if this specific button is being pressed, do this. And then you have to, well, thinking about it, it's not all that different from how the keyboard works, but it's pretty unintuitive because it's written a lot differently than the keyboard, and it's really just a little bit of a pain to implement. I promise this is a good game. I do. I promise. I think I'm kind of letting off steam because I've worked on nothing but this game for 48 hours. And I just learned that it's got a bunch of bugs, and I'm gonna have to fix that. And I'm really mad because I thought I would go tomorrow without having to work on it. I might make another one of these videos when this game is more functional. For now, this is the Kernel of Corn signing off.